podcast is brought to you by Gamefly.com. Go to www.gamefly.com/BEAST to get a free 15-day 2-disc trial.
What's happening, Felicia Michaels?
Holy shit, just everything, Joey.
Where the fuck you been? On vacation, Bali?
I was in Bali.
Indiana?
Yeah.
Fucking anywhere else you
Kansas,
were?
New York. Yeah, I was everywhere.
And then you come back, you bring this fucking heat with you. It's 2,000
I know.
degrees.
And now I'm sitting in my fancy garage.
And the air conditioner broke and shit. When the kids are back to school, I mean, this is a hell of a week, but it's great to be on. We've taken a week and a half off. Sorry, little faithful fucking listeners. Every day I was getting tweets. Where are you, Joey? What's going on? We're on fucking vacation, cocksuckers. That's where we are, all right? Things happen. Everybody goes on vacation. Everybody gets 1 week a fucking year to scratch and sniff and drink and do whatever the fuck they do. I didn't do nothing. Felicia went to Bali. I just sat at home with a pregnant fucking wife. That's it.
Well, it must be beautiful to sit at home with your beautiful wife and her belly is growing and the evidence is slowly but surely creeping up on you.
She's fucking getting bigger than the house. But it's good I got her out of the house. I'm trying to sign her up for prenatal yoga. I got her swimming last night. We're going to go on date night tomorrow night and go swimming. So
yeah, but she looks good. She's at that sexy phase in pregnancy.
Yeah,
where
good.
You're over the,
you're ready to go.
Throwing it around. Yeah.
Light a candle and I want to fucking go to sleep. Nah, it's great. Listen, man, it's different for me. I'm set in my ways, but every day I appreciate it more. Like I look at her and I appreciate her more, and I understand what she's going through and where she's coming from, and I'm happy. I just can't digest it all at one shot. Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
some people go out there and they're giving out cigars the third month. To me, this is all fucking like, wow. I don't see it till it's like Martians. Till I see a motherfucking Martian, then we'll talk about it. Until that time, don't talk to me about Martians, all right? I've never seen a fucking Martian out at night dancing or nothing. It's the same thing with this baby. You feel it in the stomach, but it's not till you fucking are in the hospital and it all comes to you,
Yeah.
Is she going to go to Catholic school? Is she going to be a little fucking witch,
Yeah.
But everything else is great about it.
I know we're starting to talk about her little party that we're going to have, baby shower. Yeah, and I've been getting advice from all my friends. Apparently it's a big game if you melt a candy bar in a diaper in the microwave and then you pass it around and you have to smell it and guess what kind of candy bar that is. That's what women do to entertain ourselves. We melt candy into a shit receptacle.
It's so weird when you're like 15 or 16 or 17, 18. You're always wondering what women are doing. Like you're like, what the fuck do they do when they go out? Have you ever seen women when they go out? It is the most pathetic fucking celebration of nothing. I thought guys were fucking boring. At least we got farts that we smell from each other. Fucking girls sit there with fancy drinks and they don't know how to act because they finally got to pay for a fucking drink when they're out by themselves, in a little girl group, because any fucking moron sees 6 chicks, he knows he's not getting no pussy, and they're jumping around, dancing with one another like they're having the end of the fucking world. I never got it. Even guys, I've never been a big guy hangout guy. You'll never see. Yeah, I fucking hate that shit.
Yeah?
Football games with 15 guys drinking. No.
Oh, yeah.
If bitches ain't naked, I don't want to be there. I've never been a guy to hang out with 6 guys and play cards and all that shit. No. Leave me the fucking...
Ever?
No.
Really?
No, don't like it. I don't like that big rah-rah type thing. I don't like it. I don't know why. And you think like I'm that type of guy now.
Yeah.
Since I was a kid, people invite me over. Come over for a football game. You're going to have food? I get high, I go, I eat the food, and fuck you, I'm out of there. I don't want to watch no fucking football. I ain't a fan of it. I'm a fan of whoever covers the spread.
Yeah.
That's it. If I'm just to sit there and watch a football game, I can't. So I never understood the whole girly concept. When you see girls all duded up, then they go home like, we had such a great time. What'd you do? We talked to the bassist from a band. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Girls do other things than that, Joey.
Like what?
Well, now we send each other nasty things on the email. We do that.
Oh, Jesus.
Like nasty little articles. Like I saw this thing and I can't shake it, Joey. It's a museum. I read this somewhere on the internet that is about the penis. It's a penis museum, just nothing but penises, and it's in Iceland. Just cracks me up. And they have all these pictures. They have like the penis of every animal in a pickle jar. It's just not right.
Well, on Discovery a couple of weeks ago, they had the restaurant that has that. They have a restaurant in like Hong Kong.
Oh, really?
That's what they specialize in, is penises. I think that the most expensive dish is dog penis, is $200. But they fucking marinate it with garlic and shit. Tremendous. I mean, I wouldn't eat no animal's penis. It's like a moose, a dog, a sheep. They had a couple of fucking penises, cat penis.
Cat penis.
Yeah, because eating a penis makes you stronger, like sexually. It's like a sexual dish. You know, that's like sucking somebody else's dick is going to make me fuck better. Stop it, all right? Don't tell guys that because they'll go start sucking other guys' dick. You know, it's like people start saying if you drink your own piss, it's good for you in the morning. Good for what? For your breath? You ever smell fucking your piss in the morning? It's fucking disgusting.
Oh my God.
You know, if that's what it takes to be, what's the word I'm looking for here? What's the word? You know, people say it makes you not virile, but it's an aphrodisiac.
Right. Oh, okay, yeah.
If that's what an aphrodisiac is, fuck it. I'll
Nature's
just jerk
Viagra.
off and go to bed.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck that shit. And that's it, Felicia, man. That's all I got for you. It's the
Yeah.
end of the fucking summer. We're 3 months away from either the Mayans are going to show or these cocksuckers ain't going to show. Either going to show or they ain't going to show. Either going to be the fucking Mexicans on Sons of Anarchy or they're going to fucking come here December. So we're 3 months away from what they're saying is the end of the world. And I knew something was going to happen this year. And you know what happened? I got my wife pregnant.
I was just going to say, maybe that's
I kept
what
saying
it is,
December
Joey.
21st. Well, she's due January 10th. 10 before or 10 after.
Yeah.
It's going to be before. If you looked at my wife, she's fucking huge. So it's going to be December 21st. That baby's going to be fucking born.
Yeah,
The Antichrist.
yeah. And
Who
it'll be a
gives a
girl.
fuck? And a
And
girl.
you'll learn firsthand again what girls do when they hang out with each other, because now you'll have 2 of them on your hands.
Well, when you see teenage girls on a bus, they kind of, you look at them weird. Like, you're like, look at these cute little girls. They got phones. They're talking about boys or something like that. I don't mind that. It's you older fucking hags that think something's really going on when you go out to a bar, like 6 hags at a bar and fucking.
Hey.
Well, not you, because you don't do that shit. But you know what I'm saying? When you go to Vegas, you ever go to Vegas lately?
Yeah, with
you see the
5 of
women
my
that are
other
online?
friends,
You ever see the women that are online at Vegas? You feel like going up to them and going, really? Do you really belong here? Think about it. Look around you and ask yourself, nothing's going to happen for you up there. Nothing's going to happen. You ever see old guys in Vegas and you feel bad for them? You're like going to walk up to them and go, come here, let me talk to you. There's a glass of hot milk in your room right now. And Law and Order, you're down here wasting your time. You're in no danger. You didn't even polish your fucking shoes. You know what I'm saying? You ever see these old guys that go out in Vegas and they're dancing with young chicks? You're in no danger, guy. You got no blow. You got no blow. So right there, these young bitches want to do blow and drugs. You're talking about what? What are you talking about? Your boat? Who gives a fuck, guy? Show them your dick and go for broke. You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do, Felicia? I'm gonna say dropping knowledge. You got me in this fucking steam bath.
I know. It's
All I
so
need is
hot
3
in here, you
fucking
guys.
Russians with a bottle of vodka, and we're good.
It is pretty.
That's all we
fucking
need.
hot in here. Jeez
But you know
Louise.
what? All that is good because my main man is in the house today. I love this motherfucker. Maz Jobrani in the fucking house. Johnny.
Hey.
How you doing,
After fucking
cocksucker?
3 months of trying to get him on here. I did Maz's podcast a couple weeks ago, and it just let me know how much I miss Maz in my life because it was weird. Me and Maz were at the store together for all those years, and it's like yesterday Felicia said to me, it's weird, you know, what are you going to ask Maz? And I go, you know, we're going to talk about the simple thing, about when you and I both got our first big movies because you had gotten your movie and I had gotten my movie and you broke it all down for me.
Yeah.
Like we would shooting a movie on different coasts and we would converse. But anyway, just what's going on, Maz Jobrani?
Nothing much. You were saying, man, it's hot in here. First of all, Felicia, you're beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Unfucking
Straight
believable.
up.
What Joey doesn't tell you is that we were both here earlier this morning. I had just hiked Fryman, and then we had all this air conditioner in his trouble, and his wife came over, and she was trying to put it in, and I felt bad because she's like very pregnant, and then it was the wrong plug, and so I was all sweated out, and I had to go to Guitar Center and go get a new thing for the air conditioner. It's just been
And then you
a
ended up
terrible
buying
morning.
a swan cooler.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about anything.
No. Felicia's the
Okay.
only person I know that goes to the fucking store for a pencil and comes back with a fucking 10 notebooks. You went to a fucking pencil, you bitch. A fucking pencil. How did this fucking happen?
No,
A
but then you
fountain?
got to ask about is this a good pencil? Can this pencil work in any
Jesus fucking
situation?
Christ.
You like buying? Are you a buyer?
No, it's just that whenever you go buy something and you think, okay, I'm going to buy an air conditioner, I'm going to measure where it's going to go, I'm going to write it down, I'm going to put it in my pocket, I'm going to eyeball it, and I'm going to go to Sears and I'm going to say I need a 24 by 15 inch air conditioner, and then they sell it to me, but then they don't tell me that it needs a whole different electrical source. It's like, are you
yeah.
fucking kidding me?
Do they ever get you on they always get me on the warranty. Do you get you on?
I get really mad about
They
that.
read me. I just bought. We had our washer dryer that wasn't even that old. Stopped working. I don't even know. It came with the house, so I didn't have. I'm really bad with file keeping and stuff, so I didn't have the right stuff to know if we had a warranty or not. And you know, and my wife and I, we always get into this. Like she's always like, "Why are we so unorganized?" I'm like, "I don't know why we're so unorganized. You know, that's just what it is." So like, let's just go buy a new one. We went to buy it. And then you get stuck because the guy goes, this is like whatever, $1,000. You're like, that sounds about right. It's not the most expensive, not the cheapest. Let's do it. And then he goes, now you're gonna want the warranty, right? And it's the upsell. It's not like, do you want it? It's like, you're gonna want the.
Right.
I go, yeah. How much is it? It's a $250 for a year. I would recommend you get the 3-year, which is $600. So now you went from $1,000, now you're $1,600 or whatever.
And then you got a fucking word problem in your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes me mad.
Yeah, and they just starts throwing shit in there, and you're like, what, I don't know, and I'm thinking to myself now, I'm like, God, I hope this breaks down in, at 2.5 years, so I can get a whole new one. But now I've already misplaced the warranty. I don't even know where that receipt is anymore. So I don't even know if it went bad. I'd have to go to the store and be like, you guys got it in your computer? And they'd be like, no, we don't. I'm like, all right, we're fucked again. Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, no matter what you go buy, even if they sell it to you at bare bones, they still got to upsell you something because that's their profit.
Yeah.
It's like when you go buy a car. They'll sell you the car for $1 over fucking invoice. You got a great deal. You go to your credit union, you get the financing of your choice. You got a great fucking deal. But they still try to sell you the warranty and the shake and bake and the fucking undercarriage.
You would think after all these years and doing what we do and everything, we would have people in every, like, I would feel like if I got to buy a washing machine, I got a cousin who sells, or you know what I'm saying?
We do. You do in New York, not here.
Yeah.
See, in New York City, I got a cousin that sells everything. Books, TVs, fucking everything. Off a truck. You follow me with a warranty.
But sometimes those guys will ring me the hardest. The guy, when your cousin goes, I got a friend. So his friend has told him, you got anyone send him my way, I'll get him a deal. But he still reams you. I've had people be like, yeah, Maz, I have a lot of like Persians and Middle Easterns. I have a electronics store. You come down. I
give you best deal.
Best deal. Come down. I have a suit place. I give you suits. So I'm going down. I'm like, does he want to give me the suits or is he going to sell me this? Now I'm like looking at suits as I'm trying them on. I don't know if I'm going to be buying these suits or if I'm going to be getting these suits. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to play the, hey, I'll wear them on stage card. You know what I'm saying? And my wife's like, is he giving you this? I go, I don't know. Let's wait till the end. Let's see what happens. And then as this going on, at one point, this actually happened. The guy threw me. He's like, so listen, I got the suit for you. I'm going to give you this suit. I talked to the manager. We can give you this suit. And it was funny because he was pushing me towards this one suit that I think they didn't want. Like, right, it was this kind of an interesting...
It's the price leader.
Yeah, it was an interesting design, I'm like, I'm looking like the Joker from the Batman, But in the process... You're like, okay, it's actually not a bad suit. And then you're like, well, okay, let me get a couple shirts to go with the suit. So I go in there and I spent like $1,500. I went in there, I didn't want to spend, I didn't need clothes. I spent $1,500. You put on your credit card, you leave. I'm like,
what just happened?
You
just ran into a salesman.
You ran into a salesman.
Yeah. The whole process, and me and Felicia have this conversation, is you go buy a car, they offer you a glass of water. Now you're indebted to them. It's like anything else. It's a price leader. When you go to a bar and they have happy hour for a bar, they're not going to make money on the $2 per drink that they sell. They're going to make money because your girlfriend's a fucking knucklehead. She's going to want a martini for $19.50. That's how they make their money. Now they charge the $19.50 for a cocktail because a guy went like this. You just pay for that free cocktail and hers. Yeah. There's always a by the way. Nothing is fucking free.
Well, this happened. It's funny because Felicia has that great picture of being in Morocco. I went to Morocco years ago with my now wife, but she was my girlfriend then, and very similar. We were first of all we went to the city Fez. We did no research. Again, this should have been indicative of like how our paperwork's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife's like, where's the warranty? I don't know. She doesn't know. We don't know. And this is the same thing going into Morocco. No research. We're going into Fez. We didn't even book a hotel. Going into Fez, she goes, there's a place called a friend of mine or somebody she read, you got to go to the Old City. There's a place called the Old City. We got to find the Old City. Now, I knew very little Arabic. Iranis speak Farsi. It's different. I knew very little Arabic. Like, I know how to say hi. But I'd taken 3 years of high school French. And I'm trying to remember how you say the Old City in French, because they speak French there. Uh-huh. So I'm like, I speak Italian, so I spent a year in Italy. So in Italian, old is vecchio. La città vecchia. That would be the Old City. So I'm like, well, the French has just got to be, you just take, la città, la cité. Vic. Exactly. Vec. I'm like, so I'm on a train. We're on the train now. We're in Morocco now on the way to Fez. And I'm going up to people, Moroccans, going like, excusez-moi, où est la cité avec? And the guy, they're looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, la cita, and I'm making like, you start, like cita, city, so I'm doing skyscraper signs, la cita avec, like old, you try, and they're looking at you like, what? And finally, one dude spoke English, and I go, how do you say ancient? He's like, l'ancien ville. L'ancien, ancient, ville is city, right? L'ancien ville. He said, yeah, l'ancien ville. Right, great. We get out. Now, one other thing we'd read about somewhere in a book was it said, whatever you do, there's these guides in Fez, and they will approach you. They're very aggressive. Wherever you are, they'll come up and they'll be like, let me be your guide here, right? So it said, don't take a guide. Only take a guide from your hotel. Go to your hotel, have them find you a guide. Don't just pick out, because some of these guys are hustlers, So, of course, we land, we get out in Fez train station, and we get in the cab, and I tell the cab, I go, take us to l'Ancien Ville. And he's like, where in l'Ancien? It's like saying, like,
take me to the city.
Yeah, take me to West Hollywood. Where in West Hollywood?
Yeah.
I go, just take us to a couple hotels. And the guy's like, all right, he starts driving. Driving. Suddenly, this dude waves him down. We get into the ancient city, the old city. This dude waves him down, and then this dude comes around to the passenger side and reaches his head in. It was like Borat. This dude was basically Borat. His name was Abdul. And he puts his head in, and my wife and I were in the back, and this guy, he's a guide. We're not supposed to be saying yes to this guy. He puts his head in, and he speaks Arabic to the cab driver, whatever. And then he turns to us, he's like, hello, what are you looking for? And we're like, I'm like, and here, like, it's funny because I don't know if you've been in a situation like this, because I think my wife is counting on me to be the expert because I'm a Middle Eastern guy. I'm supposed to be, this is closer to the Middle East, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Arabs. And I'm counting on her because I'm like, you're the one who wanted to go to Morocco in the first place. I'd rather just spend some time in Spain. So we're both like, and the guy's like, would you like, I will show you. And I'm like, no, not really. And I say, no, he sits in the car, he gets into the cab. He's like, no problem. It's okay. Everything's fine. Takes us to this thing and they have these things called riads. Did you stay to Riyadh? Riads are like hotels, but what are they? There were these old homes that they've turned into hotels. Beautiful, like Moroccan, architecture and all this stuff is amazing, but it's like, it's not like a fancy, if you go anywhere in the world, there's gonna be Intercontinental, there's gonna be Sheraton. You kind of feel at home, at least. You're like, this is a chain. Anything goes wrong, I can call up headquarters. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hello, Sheraton.
So
I'm an American in Morocco. You need.
And there's no room service.
You can do that. Riyadh is like, we go. This guy's like, this is perfect. It's $90 for a night. This lady opens the door. It's like her and her two daughters run the place. It's like, it's beautiful, but there's no one staying there. So this guy's taking us there, and then he puts us in a really beautiful room, but it's got no heat. We're like freezing. Then he's like, you want to go for dinner? I take you dinner. Dude, we walk into this place. Joey D, we walk into this place. This huge restaurant. Balloons, like, confetti. Everything's set up for like some big wedding. No one's in the restaurant. Me and my wife, we go sit in this booth with this guy Abdul. And then the chef, the waiter comes up. Waiter/owner/chef. He comes up, and Abdul goes, this is, Muhammad, this is his place, you like? And we're like, yeah. And Muhammad's excited that we're there. He's like, okay, you remember Faulty Towers?
Yes.
Remember Manuel?
Yeah.
This is Manuel owning a place. So Manuel's like, okay, I make for you, okay, So he comes back, all this food. My wife and I were like, how much is this shit costing? We don't know what we're doing. We don't know. We just are like, we're just doing shit as we go. And we eat the food, whatever. Next day, Abdul goes, I take you rug store. At the time, this is the total truth. I was living at my mom's apartment in a room. I had nowhere. I wasn't looking for a rug. I had nowhere to put a rug. Abdul takes me to the rug store, and what you just said about the free water at the car dealership, they sit you down at the rug store. They give you free mint tea. There's a whole operation. There's the owner, his son, the worker, everyone. He's like, tea. Mint tea, like as if like the king, the royal, a royal has come in. This guy needs to be served this tea. And now we're sitting there, we're such idiots. We're like, these guys are so nice, they're giving us free shit. This is so nice. And like a few minutes go by. America, oh, California, fantastic. Oh, Iran, we're brothers. India. My wife's Indian. India, this is fantastic, amazing. So now you're like, oh man, this is fantastic. We're just sitting here shooting the shit with some. This is a real, authentic experience. And then at one point, the dude straight up, he's like, so let me show you some rugs. And I'm like, great. He's like, you like the look, and they're beautiful rugs. Look at these rugs. I'm like, this is great. And now he's got the helpers bring in rugs, and they're bringing rugs. And you're like, it's beautiful. You like this rug? Yeah. He's like, put it over here. And I'm like, why is he putting them over there? Like, I just told him I like it. I don't want to buy it. Hey, put it over here. He puts together like 10 rugs. He's like, okay, I give you these 10. I'm like, I'm still like I was working as an assistant in an advertising agency. I was making $20,000 a year. I give you these 5 rugs. No, these 10 rugs. I give you, $8,000. You buy. You go. I'm like, no, I don't want a rug. He's like, no, yeah, I give you a good deal today. You buy. And I'm like, shit, it was exactly what you said. I had the free mint tea. I felt guilty. I'm like, no, I can't. Now you're feeling pressure. Now you're thinking it's like mob shit. You're like, I'm surrounded here. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knows we're here. You know what I'm saying? The book said don't take a guide. We took the guide, Abdul, And I'm sitting there, and now my wife again is looking at me like, get us out of this shit. And I'm like, no, my friend, you start getting Middle Eastern on him. You're my friend, Habibi, all that shit. He's like, yeah, no problem, relax. So he's like, 3, you take 3 rugs. You buy 3 rugs, you go. And I'm like, shit, how do I get out of this, man? I was like, I don't want a rug. I go, I don't want a rug. He's like, just buy 3, I give you a good deal, my friend. $1,200 today, you buy, you go. And I go, okay, you know what, man? This is my out. I go, now this is like a dinky little store in a place called Fez. It's like being in like one of these downtown shops in LA in the alley. Like, it's like run down, little room. There's no technology. So I'm like, I got the out. I go, I'm going to let the guy know I really didn't have the cash. I go, my friend, all I got is credit card. I got no. So I'm thinking he's going to be like, he's got no machine. He's like, no problem. I have a machine. He goes and gets the old school.
Oh my God.
He busts that shit out. Now I'm stuck. Now I gotta buy the thing, right? And then he goes, we send for you. So we buy the 3 rugs. They get our address to send it to America. And I'm telling my wife, I'm like, well, I go, maybe we could sell the rugs. We got nowhere to put the rugs. I'm like, maybe I could probably get a good deal for these rugs. I could probably make some money off of this deal, right? $1,200. I'm sure these things probably sell for $1,200 each. You're convincing yourself. We get on a train. We go to Marrakesh. We've already done the deal. And we run into these older Irish couple who travels a lot. And they're really nice. And we start talking, and the guy's really nice and everything. He's like, oh, you guys are great to hang out with. And we go, yeah, we were in Fez. We bought some rugs. He's like, what? I go, yeah, we bought some rugs. He's like, you have the rugs? I go, no, they're sending it. He's like, oh, I hate to tell you, they're not going to send it, mate. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's a scam. They're not going to send it. He's like, can you call your credit card? I'm on the phone in Fez on a payphone. I'm sorry, in Marrakesh. Payphone in Morocco doesn't work. I'm trying to call, MasterCard. I got scammed. They're not going to send the shit. I'm freaking out. Long story short, get back to LA. There's this big package, 3 rugs. And in all honesty, I had nowhere to put them. For about 6 months, I'm driving around with my car with 3 rugs in the back of my trunk. Every time I went to one of my relatives' houses, like my sister, I'd be like, you want a rug? I got this rug. You don't have to pay me for it. But if you do, it'd be great. But so I'm like trying to sell it. So long story short, I was it started with a cup of mint tea. And it ended up with $1,200 later.
What's fucking crazy? You and I were just at the coffee shop talking about different races.
Yeah.
You ever go, like a couple of weeks ago, I went to a vitamin place with Terry and my wife. I was there for 8 minutes. Nobody said hello to me. 3 high school kids or college kids behind the counter. They didn't even fucking come out. What a horrible feeling. And you go there and they treat you. If that shit was here, there wouldn't be a fucking problem with the economy.
Oh, yeah.
There wouldn't be. They assume the clothes. They fucking go in there. They don't even know the word. And when you kept saying no, all 7 of them look like you're like, no.
Yeah.
That's customer service. It's amazing.
Yeah.
When you assume the motherfucking clothes, they didn't even know. You're there to buy.
Yeah.
They don't know nothing else. You're
Yeah.
there to fucking buy.
Yeah.
It's a different. That's the culture.
Well, that's like, that's also about like they gotta eat. They're hungry. They gotta eat and they gotta clothes. It is in the blood.
Clothes,
Like, yeah,
bro.
yeah,
they
do.
got time to fuck around. Those people don't. They don't.
We're talking about this. My manager is an Iranian American. He grew up with but he's got that mentality. We were just talking about this the other day. I forget what the project. There was some project that like the word came back. It was a no, and he's like, I'm going back. I'm gonna find the director. I'm gonna find like he kept and I felt a little. Like you feel a little. Sometimes you feel like, oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm. It's below me. But he's like, no, man. Let's find out. Like, let me get in there. And he was talking about how he's got an assistant who's just this American guy, and he's like, I told my assistant, I go, watch what I do here. I'm gonna get back on the phone and breathe some life into this, and he did. And it was about not taking no. You know what I'm saying? And selling. And there's something beautiful to that, you know what I'm saying? Like I think because I grew up in America, we become uncomfortable when people push us like that. I think there's a game to it. If you get into the game of it, because I've seen older Middle Easterners that are good at the game. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll be like, no, I don't want the rug. They walk out, but then they'll come back and they'll be like, you know what? Maybe I'll take but I'll give you I'll give you $20. And the guy's like, my friend, and that now you're back sitting. Bring another mint tea. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? It's this fun game, and they're into it.
It's when I was a kid, the big thing would be to go into New York City to Delancey Street because there was a big Jewish community, and the secret was to go over there early. We'd go over for Converse and Adidas. We'd get them in Jersey for 28. We wanted them for 20. You went over there at 8 and you waited for the store. And their religion is they have to sell the first customer, so the rest of the day goes great. We'd fucking sit there and hammer it out with them, But it was an experience for us. It really was. The salesmanship experience in this country has really died in a way because of technology. Technology takes away from that. I get pissed all the time at people. You're going to text me about a fucking gig?
Yeah.
You text about a piece of ass or a blowjob. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Years ago, Eastern Airlines, one of those companies, said, remember the commercial? We give everybody plane tickets. And the people are like, what's this? He goes, we're going back on the road, people, because we've lost touch.
Yeah.
We've lost touch.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get back out there. And I was telling Felicia's friend the other day that if I live long enough to my daughter, when my daughter's 18 and she wants to go to college, she's not going to go to college. I'm going to make her sell cars for a fucking year. I'm going to make her learn for 1 year, what it is. Because I'll tell you what, if I college, selling drugs, everything, all my fucking shit comes back to selling cars. I learned how to beat. Me and Maz bumped into each other at Target 3 years ago.
Yeah.
With the babies. And I was talking, and Maz goes, what are you doing here? And I go, going to buy thank you cards for casting directors. And Maz looked at me and he goes, I used to send thank you cards for casting directors a long time ago. And he paused a minute and he goes, I think it's time to get some boxes for thank you cards. When I tell that to people, I've had actors tell me, my agents told me not to send thank you cards. Well, they're fucking jerk-offs because nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
You want to stick out. You don't want to do what everybody else is fucking doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you go, I love going into stores where Middle Easterners are selling shit just to watch.
Yeah.
My friend, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And they're fucking just confusing you.
Yeah.
It's a confusing buy.
Yeah.
But when you sell, you're supposed to confuse the person.
Yeah.
An impulse buy is 24 fucking hours.
Yeah.
I got to be the mook to expand, rush that.
Yeah.
If not, here's my card. Go fuck yourself a card. I got to eat, bitch. Sell that motherfucker something.
Yeah.
He came in here looking. I don't care if they're just looking. Those momos that look around and shit. Those are the motherfuckers that
That's
buy
me.
and they pay top fucking dollar. They do.
me.
Well, you know what it is? What it is it's a cultural thing. In America, we don't
cultural
do that. Like I was just thinking about my son. He's 4 years old. Like and we all like. I've always been. I love to have the friends that are hustlers. You love to have those. Like we used to try and get into nightclubs. You loved having the hustler. I had one of my friends. Like nightclubs was his hobby, so he would come up with something new every time. Like he became a lawyer. And he represented like these two like big time DJs, but nobody cared, But he would go some biggest club. There was a club called Crowbar in New York a few years ago. He went up, night is lines, people trying to go up there. He just walked up there. Nobody knows who he is, but he takes out his lawyer card and he goes, "Hey, how you doing, man? I represent the guys from Deep Dish, blah blah blah, yada yada. They're not there, nothing like that. Just wanted to come in with my friend. We're gonna check out the place, blah blah blah." Boom, VIP, go in. And it's just about hustling. Find the angle to get what you want and get it. And you can do that with anything. It could be with picking up women. It could be with getting into clubs. It could be with selling shit. But I love those kinds of guys, and I love when that kind of shit happens because it's a streetwise thing. You know, where I think in America, like I know with my kids right now, like my son goes to this, you know, nice school, very coddling. You know, he's not gonna be no one's gonna teach him how to negotiate or anything like that. And it's exactly what you said. Like it made me realize, like I want to take him into situations like. We traveled to the Middle East when he was younger to do shows, but I'd love to take him when he's a little bit older and take him into a market and be like, let's go and try and negotiate. Let's just go, you know, just to so you learn because unfortunately in America we don't do that.
Yeah. Well, you know why? Because we're busy. I don't have fucking time to sit here at some random electronics store and hear about your rebate for 15 minutes because it's probably going to cost me more money in the end. I got things to do. I got a big list.
Yeah, but it's beyond the rebate. I think it's more about, forget the rebate part. It's about feeling like, and look, sometimes it can be embarrassing. I took my aunt, and my aunt, you know, she's well off. She does well. We were in Italy. And I studied a year abroad there, and then she came with my grandfather. My grandfather had to go to Naples to get his green card because when you get your green card, they send you back to the embassy in your country, the American embassy in your country, to get your green card. But Iran doesn't have an American embassy, so they send you to other ones. So they sent my grandfather to the embassy in Naples. So my aunt and grandfather fly into Italy, and Grandpa's old at the point, so we're in Rome at the time, and Grandpa's going to take a nap, stay at the hotel. Aunt goes, let's go shopping. She loves to shop. Man, we went into all these different Italian clothing stores. First thing you see on the back, it says no negotiating. Because they know Italians love to do. The Italians,
yeah.
My aunt, she did not care.
No.
She did not. How much for, and I'm translating. And the guy's like, Signora, prezzi fissi, whatever. And I'm like, hey, it's fixed price. She's like, don't worry. How much? Come on. Then she started pretending like she didn't understand. I don't know what you're saying. I'll tell you what, I'll give you 100. And Signora, no. She was so persistent a couple of the times that the idea being, it's not about not having time and stuff. It's about, look, this dude, this dress costs 50 cents. He's trying to sell it to me for $5,000. I'm not gonna buy the bullshit, and I know he needs the business. So she went for it, and I was embarrassed, but she did it. She to the point where she's like, you hold it, I'll be back.
Oh, shit.
Listen, she pushed the guy for like a good 15 minutes. The guy was getting frustrated. You hold it, I'll be back. She goes, let's go. She takes me. We go to other stores. We come back, walk into the store again. The guy's got the dress bagged up, ready to go. Here you go, Senora. The price you said. Let's do it. Like she wore him down. And it's not about the timing and stuff. It's about this idea of, you know, not getting ripped off, and it's a street smart thing, you know, which I admire sometimes.
I see people doing stuff, and it's ether. I call it ether. People are always under the ether. You could sell something to anybody under the ether at any fucking time. When I buy something, I leave there. I think about why I bought it. What was the decision? How I came to it? You know, I'm a student of marketing. I fucking love it. I love when somebody puts out a shitty fucking movie and they fall for it, and I go, you couldn't tell from the trailer? Oh my God, you couldn't tell from the trailer. That was a shitty fucking movie, because what you saw was the best 2 scenes of the movie. You know, that's all that they show you. Marketing is so unique to me. I love it. I love how people get fucking whacked all the time. I look at it and I go, are you fucking saying
they do that? Oh, that's Hollywood. Is perfect. Hollywood is perfect.
Everything.
I was talking to these guys. They were from Bollywood. And this guy and I used Matthew McConaughey as the example. He's a good-looking guy, but the movies he was doing back to back to back was all crappy movies. And I'm sitting there going, people go, oh, we're putting this guy in because he can open a movie. I was like, you know what? In reality right now, there's probably a handful of actors that if you put into a movie, people are going to go see the movie just because of that person. Like, Leonardo, for me, it's like DiCaprio, or if like
Matt Damon,
handful of these guys.
Yeah.
You know they're doing quality work. You know, Johnny Depp, he's going to do something quality. So the handful, right? But agents and the Hollywood business has sold it to people's minds within the business that if you get this guy in your movie, it's going to help it open. It's not McConaughey that's making it open. It's your $50 million advertising budget. You know what I'm saying? You can put a monkey in the movie and just keep flashing, hey, it's coming. You have to see it. Must see. People are stupid. They go, yeah, we're going to go see it. And the first weekend, these movies make $100 million the first weekend, and some of them drop off to like $10 million the second weekend. what I'm saying? But they have ways of making money, and it's exactly this salesmanship.
Just a salesmanship, dog. That's all it is. It's amazing when you see it. Once you see behind the curtain, you learn, and you go, what the fuck?
Titanic came out. Killed it. They came out with a new ad campaign. At the time, I was dating this other girl. They came out with a new ad campaign. They go, have you seen Titanic? See it again. I literally heard it coming out of my girlfriend's lips. She's like, I got to see it again. I'm like, why? She goes, I got to see it again.
They want to double up.
It worked.
Yeah.
I was like, because you saw the ad saying you got to see it again. She's like, no, there was some stuff I want to see again. Like, she didn't know it hit her.
And it's so weird, Maz, because, again, you and I were talking about stories before, that I knew you for a long time, and we knew what we had to do in our careers, and finally we picked our niche, you know? And it's so weird when you, I love hustling. I love the whole fucking thing about it. I love, right now I have a manager I told you I want to get rid of, and I like her dearly. I love her dearly. But at this point in my life, I can't have you around me if you're a fucking mook.
You can have her listen to this podcast, and that works. No,
just tell. It's so weird.
I
explained to her,
no one listens to podcasts.
When you and I first came here, Ray Mohit, let's talk about Ray, your manager. If Ray sees something that's right for you, he will call the person, send the tape, call the producer, call the other guy. If he knows about the role, it's coming out in 2 months, he will tell you to get a tape together, an audition tape, put everything, get it done. Everybody in this town goes to one system. They all want to fight off the breakdowns.
Yeah.
For me, they ain't nothing there. That's what everybody's doing. That's what everybody's chasing nickel. In the 70s in New York, everybody's selling coke. Oh, how fucking original. How original. Go do something else, like shoplifting trains or whatever the fuck it is, and you won't get that much heat on you. You follow me? That's what I'm saying to you. This whole summer, it was very slow in the entertainment business out here. I went over there, fucking bought her lunches, and explained to her what needs to be done, bro. Mm-hmm. This is how I would do it. I wouldn't do it like this no more. Yeah. I get these fucking tapes. I just paid, you know how much tapes cost, demo reels, bam, and send them out or give them to me with the addresses, and I'll hand drop them off. You know me. Worst thing they can say is no, bitch.
Yeah.
I've heard no 1,000 times. You got to go for it.
Yeah.
I've told her 10 fucking times. And she keeps telling me that's not how they do things today. I go, well, that's why you're calling me for fucking stand-up commission. Because if you would do it this way and not give a fuck what people are doing, this is how I do it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I come old school, Maz. I call you till you buy, you die, or you change your fucking number. That's it. If you're a salesman, you're either going to change your number or you're going to buy after you talk to my ass.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Like I told you, remember years ago, we used to make our own audition tapes. I got the longest shot off my own. What did my agent say?
Yeah.
They're looking for a celebrity. Bitch, who the fuck are they going to look for? That's funny. Adam Sandler type funny. Sharippa, funny, good guy, but he's never done fucking late night at the store following Paul Mooney.
Yeah.
When you know something, it burns you the fuck up.
Yeah.
And that's what I did 2 years ago. I took this into my own fucking hands.
Yeah.
This is something that we're scared. When we first get here, don't say this, don't say that. After a while, you're like, I'm paying you to do this, and you're not. I don't give a fuck what people do. I'm telling you what needs to be done.
Joey D, life is not fun if you're not entrepreneurial with it, I think. And I think that it's kind of what you were saying about taking your daughter and having her sell cars, and you sold cars. Mm-hmm. My father was a self-made millionaire in Iran, came to America, lost a lot of his money, but he was the oldest son of the family. And he ended up taking care of his whole family. So he used to, because I'm the oldest son of the family, he used to tell me, he said, you have to take care of your brothers. And my sister was older than me, but he said, you got to take care of your brothers all the time. And so I don't know what happened at some age. We had money. Growing up, we had a lot of money. Like I just go to my dad, hey, Dad, I need $20. Give me 100. Go. He was like the Godfather. That's who my dad was. And very generous to a lot of people and everything. And to me, his kids were, his diamonds. He'd do whatever, anything for him. But somehow he instilled in my head independence. So while we had money, I started I remember getting a paper route when I was like 10 or 11. I was horrible at it because you had to. I delivered the papers, then you had to go collect the money. And I went, and some of these people were like stingy with the money. They wouldn't give me the money. So I was like, all right, I'm not cut out for this shit. I'm not gonna shake down these grown-ups. Then ever since then, every summer I would be working in a deli, working at a pizza, always working. Mm-hmm. So it got in my head that you got to hustle. And so when I get into this business, we all know there's some comedians in the business that you sit there and they're just they're lost. They're funny on stage, but they don't have an entrepreneurial side. And you go, that person is going to be the funny person who's going to be, around and doing it for a while, but they're going to be later on in their lives, they're just going to be working for the $15 sets at the Comedy Store. Because they're not creating their own opportunities. They're not, and you have to create your own opportunity. You have to hustle, like you said. You have to find another way in.
Well, my manager said that I go fuck you and your manager.
Yeah.
Your manager sits in a fucking office all day with ideas.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You want to do something, you got to do it. And that's in any aspect.
Yeah.
Any fucking aspect. Initiative is what it's all about in this fucking life. You got to think for your fucking self.
And
man.
you got to ride your manager and your agent, and hopefully you got, like what you were just talking about, my manager again, Ray Mohit. He is he thinks entrepreneurially. He is constantly looking for. So when you run into some agents and stuff that don't think like that, or they go, "Hey, I got 200 clients. I don't have time to." You know what? Then you're not my guy.
Mope. I don't want
You're
to
not
be
my
around
guy.
you anyway. You're a fucking mope.
I need the guy to think outside the box.
Listen, dog. You want to get my blood pressure going? When I go home and I see my manager on Facebook, like putting a post up about a dog, save this dog, or the fucking vice president or something like that.
That does kill you, Joe, because I know there's times when I'm supposed to be putting the podcast up and I'm all like writing a joke about whatever, and I just know it kills. I know your manager cannot be doing that. Not with
Fucking
you
Facebook,
on it. No.
and I at least put up a fucking thing. Joey Diaz is looking for work. When I see you save this dog or save this cat on my fucking time, dog, I'll fucking kill you. I really will.
Yeah.
That's what people understand. Like, you seriously, guy?
Yeah.
We're doing this. This is what we're doing. I don't give a fuck about the other day she had a long soliloquy about the vice president, Rick Perry, about rape. Listen, go fuck yourself with Rick Perry, whatever his name is, and rape. I don't give a fuck. From 6 to fucking...
Paul Ryan.
From 10 to 6:30, your ass belongs to me, bitch. I don't give a fuck about what your political views are. Do I care? The only political view you need to do is get on that fucking phone. Get your head in that phone. I'm serious, dog. That's my mentality. I know if I was a manager, I'd be in the fucking phone.
Listen,
that's
man,
me.
This transcends this business. This transcends. A friend of mine was talking about. We were talking about chain restaurants. I was at. I went to a Panera, I think, in Chicago, and you give them the order. They give you one of these buzzers. You go stand over there. Right. Someone's making the stuff. You go, it's there, boom. Then I went to one in Kansas City, night and day. I walk in, I order, I'm like, yeah, I'd like a bagel. The guy's at the register, he goes, okay, bagel. He walks away from the register, goes and grabs a bagel, starts cutting the bagel, puts the cream cheese on it, comes back. I go, I'd also like a coffee. Walks away from the register, goes and gets the coffee. One thing, and there's a dude in the back. But I was like, shouldn't you should be the register guy, and there should be someone. I'm thinking to myself, how did one Panera have it down and this one does not? Like the chains just don't. Obviously, the management isn't worried to make it. They don't
Go to
care.
the Four Seasons in Denver.
Yeah.
They got free coffee in the fucking lobby. Go to the Four Seasons Atlanta. I got to walk up to the third floor and pay for it. Then they want to ask you questions. How was your night? Listen, talk to me until I have my fucking coffee. It's like going to Starbucks. Would you like milk with it? Listen, I don't know what I want with it, but I don't want conversation.
Yeah.
That's what I don't want. I got bad breath and I got one coffee. That's all I fucking want.
But you know what?
It kills me too.
It's about pride. It's about pride in what you do. Because then this I was talking about this, and two people have told me now about the Houston's chains. Somebody else was telling me, they go, you go to Houston's every time, the food is great, the service is great. And my friend was telling me, when I told him this Panera story, he goes, let me tell you a story about Houston's. He goes, I ran into like one of the owners or something. He goes, there was a Houston's in Kansas City. It just happened to be Kansas City again. Some waitress supposedly there was just not up to par. Somehow word got back to one of the owners of the company. He was on a plane to Kansas City. Sat down, didn't tell the girl who he is, ate, saw her thing. Can I talk to you for a second? Hi, I'm the owner of Houston's. We don't need you.
We don't need you.
You make up your mind right now. You either perk up or get out and turn it around like that. Because this guy takes pride and he's thinking outside the box, entrepreneurial. I'm going to fly in and worry about this stuff. You need people like that on your team and in your life.
But you know what, Maz? It's when you walk into a place, you could tell the difference between somebody who loves their job.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody who is there for the paycheck.
Yeah.
You go to some places where you have to tell people to stop. Fucking stop, guy. I don't want this much fucking water, all right? Every time I turn around, I can't take a sip without you filling my fucking glass. And that impresses the fuck out. Bro,
hell yeah.
Listen, it's 2012. I hear these motherfuckers crying about business. Where's the customer satisfaction? That's what wins it with me every fucking time.
Oh, hell yeah.
A month ago, I was in Buffalo. They missed the wake-up call. I called, yelling and screaming, bro. I'm like, are you guys fucking retarded? What? They go, come on down. I went downstairs. The manager came up, Mr. Diaz, how are you? I already called JetBlue. We've changed your reservation. Pay for it. Pay for your ride to the airport. And we gave you the night for free at the hotel.
That's what you got to do.
That's customer satisfaction.
yeah.
I didn't want the knife for free. Just him doing that. I didn't want that. I didn't want that at all.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for them for free.
But don't you think it comes down to like the person that runs each establishment? If you're a weak person in that situation, the guy that's the manager of the whole hotel, let's say. But if if you're a person that's weak in that position, of course everything's going to go to shit.
It's definitely top down. It's like it's some of these companies, they have the philosophy. It's like, for example, if you're going to work at a Ritz-Carlton, I'm sure the talk you get is a lot different than the guy who was working at the Hampton Inn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, the Ritz-Carlton, what you were just saying, I did some event in the San Francisco Ritz-Carlton. They put me up. The event was there. I pull up with my cab. I get out of my cab. As I'm getting out, already the bellman goes to the trunk, picks up my suitcases, comes over. Welcome, Mr. Jobrani. Like, how did he know my name? He looked at the tags on the suitcase, right? From him to the lady in the foyer, 10 feet away, I walk. This dude's bringing my luggage. I walk. The lady's standing there. Welcome, Mr. Jobrani. He had done a little voice, whatever, radio signal to her. She walks me to the check-in. Welcome, Mr. Everyone knows my name. Bellman takes me upstairs, shows me everything. I am just so impressed with the service. I go downstairs to get an espresso from the bar. $10 espresso. I didn't care. I expect that. I expect that. Yeah.
You pay.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You pay. People want to pay, but they want to get taken care of.
Yep.
Gamefly.com offers over 8,000 video games. It sends you the disc in the mail, and when you're done with it, you just send it back. There's no late fees, no hassles with access to all new releases. It'll work on anything, your PlayStation, your Wii, your Xbox, even your PC. And for our listeners, if they go to www.gamefly.com/BEAST, they will get a free 15-day 2-disc trial. Come on, that's a great value. 1 month subscription is a fraction of what a new game costs. People buy games for like $60, then a week later they're done playing it. Come on, you and I both know it's not a week later, it's the next day. So give it a try. Go to gamefly.com/BEAST to get your free offer of a 15-day 2-disc trial for free. There you go.
We're talking about restaurants. What I say to you? I go to Pinocchio's restaurant for $17 and eat dinner because there's no wait staff. If there was a wait staff, it wouldn't be worth the fucking meal. So you follow me? Some things are it's just fucking amazing. I will pay you thousands if you take good care of me. And what's good care of me? It's very simple. I don't want much.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy that wants you to bring me water. I'm smoking weed in my fucking room.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody. I don't even want room service. I don't even want the maid coming in when I'm in your hotel. I got weed in there.
Oh, yeah, I don't like
I don't like the maid. I got sleep apnea machine.
I don't like that. Yeah.
I don't do boo. I'll go to the sauna. I'll pick up my own towels. You know, man, it all goes back to what we were talking about. It's the people who bend over and pick up that paper, and there's people who don't.
Yep.
And those are the people you see right now, for some reason or another, because I've been on the road a lot lately, I've been getting into the show Bar Rescue.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's my life. I grew up in a restaurant. I love to go into a restaurant to really see what's going on. Now I got into the hotel one. Oh, you got to watch the hotel one.
What network is that?
I think that's Discovery, the hotel
My
one where they
kids
go
watch
into
it all the
hotels.
time.
What do they do?
and
They go in and do what?
They go like that. It'll be a failing business like a bar, and so there's a couple of different versions.
Right, there's
of
a
it.
restaurant one and a bar one
Right,
and a hotel
and then
one.
some guy will go in and be like, "I'm going to turn this bar around," and he's really bossy, and he goes in, and then it uncovers like, one of the bartenders was stealing a lot of money. That was the one. It was next to my kids' music school, and they were like, "No way, champs!" You know what I mean?
that's funny.
Yeah, like it's all over.
Yeah. You got to watch it.
But
because
then they help you, make it better.
No,
though.
the guy's psychology for restaurant is psychology. If you cut fruit and put it at the bar, people order more fruity drinks. If the bartender does tricks with a napkin, people tend to stay more and buy 2 more drinks for the bartender that does magic tricks or whatever. Fucking shit that you like marketing.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's what casinos
Yeah,
are.
the guy came in. He goes, "Listen, you got a fucking pirate bar. This is the best one." Reminded me of a bar like Gentry, my friends. She hit the lottery and bought a bar for pirates. You dress up every day like a pirate, and people come in. And she hired all her loser buddies,
Hilarious.
and basically all they do is get drunk in there.
Yeah.
And she was down $900,000 living in her parents' basement with her 16-year-old daughter and her husband, who was a bigger loser. He was the head chef. And they call this guy to turn their restaurant around. You got to watch this.
Yeah.
And this guy came in. He's like, "So there's 90,000 employees in a 4-block radius, and you got a dumbass pirate bar in this motherfucker. He turned it around into a fucking tuxedo lunch bar. Do you know the fucking lady after a month put it back to a pirate bar because she missed the party?
What an idiot.
I was just watching it the other day. But I watch it to learn all those, like the size of the stool matters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The size of the stool, what they see the first 8 seconds, how long it takes to. I've been to restaurants, you go to a fucking Cheesecake Factory. How many chefs they got? They got 90 dishes from 19 different countries.
How do they
Pick
do
a
that?
fucking flag, okay?
Yeah.
He
That is
comes in and he
weird,
goes
yeah.
3, 3, and 3. You get a signature. Last night he made a great one. He made a grilled cheese, dipped in egg batter, double fried. God damn! With fucking tomato. Oh my God! I'm telling you, that's my new show, Bar Rescue. But I don't understand. When I read about the economy and I read about all this shit that goes on, and then I go out to a restaurant or I see something stupid, it destroys me, Maz. I'm like, this is why. Denny's. Denny's is my new favorite restaurant because they sat down and said, look, what do we got hanging out in here? We got a bunch of mutts in here at night. Everybody's hurting now. I went to Denny's Saturday. I told my wife I'm going to take her to Splurge. I had a meeting in Hollywood where you went to the audition a couple of weeks ago, on Monday.
Yeah.
Where'd you have the Nickelodeon?
Yes.
And down the block they have a Denny's, so I had to go kill time, and I had a cheeseburger. Fucking delicious. I didn't shit blood. The fries were good. The iced tea was great. Then I see somebody eating pot roast, and I'm like, oh my God, because I'm a pot roast fiend. I go, that looks delicious. Then I went home about a month later and I read this whole thing in the New York Times section of restaurants about Denny's, that they put the 2-4-6 menu to help America. They realized they lowered their prices. So the other day I go, what do you want to eat, Terry? Like one of those nights where you're like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I go, I'm splurging. I took her to Denny's. When we left it, Terry looked at me and she goes, that's one of the best dinners I've had in a long time. I go, they're trying.
Yeah.
They're trying. They have a hamburger that's second to none for $6 with a little order of fries. They ain't gonna make you or break you. All I want to know is that you're trying.
Yeah.
Just show me a little bit. Southwest blows, but they don't charge you for luggage.
Yeah.
It blows. If it's longer than 2 hours on Southwest, that's misery. You sit next to somebody, there's no bigger seats, there's no early boarding or spacious seats or 6 more inches. But you know what? They help you.
Yeah.
No luggage. They're kind of
there's
nice.
a couple of things I think. First of all, when you run into I just did the Comedy Magic Club this weekend, and there was a waitress there. I brought the family in, and this lady took care of, she was on it.
Mm-hmm.
She took care of us constantly. What do we kids want anything else? You sure? How about for you to? And it was like I couldn't help but tip her $40. I pay, I tip her, well, because I was like, this lady was great, and she was doing it with a smile. It didn't feel like,
this.
So there's that. So there's always the guy, you're like, why is this guy in this job? There's some people that should just be in an office and an accountant or something. You don't have to meet, you don't have to talk to people. Don't be in the service industry because you're not a happy person. Be somewhere where you just deal with numbers. So there's that. But the other thing right now that's going on with the economy that it's funny. I was listening to NPR, and I think there's a lot of truth to this. Think about it. One of the reasons there's less jobs, everything's become automated. And so somebody was saying that, America has been trained for a certain kind of job, for a certain kind of workforce, thank you, certain kind of workforce that is no longer needed. You go to the parking garage, you're leaving, used to be you had to pay your money to the lady behind the, in the little booth. Now your ticket, it's just a ticket, you're done. Even at the airport, they don't need you to check. So we need to be retrained is one of, and it's interesting to me because the debate becomes the whole thing of taxation, no taxation, and all this stuff. And I know one of the debates on the Republican side is, why don't we tax rich people less, because then they will create jobs for people because they will spend their money to create jobs. I personally don't think, and I've heard studies saying that that's not the problem. It's not that rich people are going to, because think about it, if you had a lot of money, your first instinct isn't, well, let me create more jobs. Your instinct is, well, let me get that Ferrari. Let me get that other building. Especially once you get to that level, I'm doing as much as I can. Of course, if I can take my workforce and go to India and pay, 1/10, I'm going to do that. And those people over there, by the way, what you were saying, in a lot of these other countries, they're going to be appreciative and they're going to work hard, maybe too hard. What I'm saying? For 50 cents a day, they call you sir all day long and smile. You know what I'm saying? So it's true. So the whole thing about, it's work ethic. And right now, I think, we're screwed right now with work in America because the economy is not bad, is not good because there are no jobs. You know what I'm saying? The jobs that have gone to the computers now. So we need to retrain.
It's funny, Maz, you said something before about being a kid with the newspaper, and I told Felicia this. You know, I didn't know about, I could lie to you and tell you about Cuba. I don't fucking remember Cuba, you know, but I remember coming over and I was a nerd, you know, I like building models, you know, and I used to go to the store to buy glue. I was telling Felicia this, and I didn't know. I didn't know. This guy every day would say, hey, can you go inside and buy me glue? They don't let me in there. Bro, I had to be 6 or 7. And I would go in and buy the kid the glue, you know, and give it to him. He was an older guy. He was like 30, and I was maybe 6, you know. And one day they're like, dog, don't talk to that guy. That guy snorts glue. And I'm like, well, snort glue. And they're like, yeah, he snorts glue and he gets high, and that's why he buys the fucking glue. And I'm like, really? And I started thinking about it, that he would have to buy glue there. So one day I went in the morning, instead of buying 1 tube of glue, I bought 2 of them. And he gave me like the 60 cents. He's like, you got the glue? And I go, bro, it's not 60 cents no more. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, dog, I've been going in there every day buying your glue. I got to make something. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about, kid? I could just beat you up. And I had like 6 other little Puerto Rican kids. This was a tough neighbor. I'm like, no, dog, from now on, you want glue, you got to pay an extra quarter. You know, we were fucking, for a quarter. A quarter in those days got you a juice drink.
Oh, yeah.
From the fucking hot dog man that were delicious. And again, I didn't need the money. My mother gave me whatever I wanted. But I was like, I got to make money off this guy. I started buying glue by the case.
Hilarious.
And selling it to the guy. And some days he's like, I'm not paying it. Well, fuck you, bitch. But all the hardware stores, had like a picture of him, so they wouldn't sell him glue.
Hilarious.
So he had to walk to like Harlem and buy paint. So he'd be pissed off. I'd see him and he's like, fuck you. Because of you, I got to buy paint and shit. He'd be huffing paint. And I remember just going, bitch, this is the way it goes. And we'd make, you know, $1.50 off him a week.
Yeah.
But I think back to then, I'm like, wow, what made me possess me to do that? That's the first time I really took over somebody's weaknesses, you know, I took advantage of their weaknesses. But that, it just teaches you how to, I read a newspaper route.
And you're entrepreneurial.
But hold on one second. Do you see a kid delivering newspapers today?
No.
There's no more newspaper routes.
Yeah.
There's a newspaper, there's the North Hollywood Reporter, and the kid comes by. That's once a week, and he collects, and you give him $1 or something like that. But there's no hustle, because that was the main hustle. Everybody had to have a paper route when you were a kid. Yeah.
Or selling cards. When I was a kid, it was selling like greeting cards. You could sell greeting cards.
Really? Door to door?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for school.
Remember,
Yeah, for school.
Saw it on the back of a comic book. Oh, yeah.
And Avon. I used to sell Avon as a kid.
did?
We used to go door to door and ask people if there was a little apartment complex my grandmother used to live in. So we used to go door to door, knock. Just like, you know, 3 or 4, like 10, 12-year-old kids, you know, nice kids. People knew us from the neighborhood. We'd be playing stickball all the time. Be like, hey, are there any chores? Can we wash your car? Can we do whatever? Any chores, whatever you got, we'll do it. One time, I remember a friend of mine was walking and he found a paper bag filled with Playboys. There was like maybe 20 Playboys. Some dude had like left them out to be thrown out. So he took these Playboys, and then he's like, hey, man, I got all these Playboys. You want some? I was like, yeah, give me some Playboys. So I took them, and like a little while later, you know, we're talking to some of the other kids in school, some of the guys in 7th grade, and we're like, yeah, man, I got these Playboys. And this was like when Joan Collins was like the Christmas edition.
Oh, no.
It was Joan Collins. So I got all these Playboys, and so the guys are like, hey, I'd love to, you know, can I see? I go, you know what? I'll bring them to school. Now I'm in school selling Playboys to the guys, you know what I'm saying? Making some money off of the shit. Exactly what you said. Like, because your mind is thinking, I'm done with them. You know, I'm going to keep a couple that I like. And the rest, I'm going to sell. I got to move these Playboys. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're just entrepreneurial. You know,
I used to jump in a dumpster and steal Banaka blasts. You don't remember Banaka?
Yeah, I remember Banaka. Yeah.
In New Jersey, that's where the factory was, and they used to have, remember, there was no Ross 30 years ago.
Yeah.
There was no bad sneakers with stitching. So we knew where the Banaka company was and the Converse. They would just throw sneakers out with bad stitching. We would take them. They were $32 sneakers. That was a lot in 1980, and we'd sell them for $15 just because the star was an inch off. Well, you didn't give a fuck. Yeah. They seen this star anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and I used to say to myself, why do I do this dumb shit? Why do you do this? I could just ask my mother for money. And it's something inside of you. You're like, I don't know.
I had an experience once. I went traveling with my girlfriends, Wendy and Natalie, to Cambodia to do photography. And we were in this really bad, poor area. And there's a couple, like, times a year where this forest gets flooded. So the forest is kind of underwater. And there's all these villages that come up and go down. And you're really struck by you could go to one village and it's a complete success, and then a mile and a half away, go to another village, and it is immense poverty, and not like the first village was all that, but just you could tell that it all came down to, if you were lucky, you were born in the village where people had their shit together, that it's just the luck of the draw of you're born in a village where one person at least has it happening, one person is a go-getter, you know what I mean? And that's what struck me about that, and so I'm glad that we talked about this today.
Yeah,
Joey
Diaz.
Well, a lot of it,
I'm trying to look at your monkey all day. Nothing. It's in fucking shorts.
well, a lot of
There's
it
no
has to
reason
do
to
with
look at my
pride as
monkey.
well. It's like what you were just saying. Like if you instill pride, and not the kind of pride where it's like
White power. Fuck
yeah,
it.
not like USA, but the pride of like be proud of like be proud of who you are and be respectful. Like I got that from my grandfather he reminded me of Gandhi, and this guy, he lived till he was 98. Until the last year of his life, my grandfather would wake up every morning, because back in Iran when he was younger, men had to wear the fedora hat. He would wake up every morning, put on a suit, 3-piece suit, fedora hat, every morning, and he would do stuff. He'd go grocery shopping, come back, cook. He created stuff for himself to do, but he was very the way he dressed and presented himself was a huge part of who he was. And he was always, that's like, he could not stand when my brothers were like going through that whole teenage pants hanging out halfway, underwear showing. He would lose it on that. He's like, you don't you have a name, like what's wrong? Your father was well known. We had a name, like we had something. It's like you got to be proud, because that's where it starts. When you look in the mirror and you're proud of who you are and you're confident about, I'm going to go out and make something today. That sets success up. That means you will not take no. You'll keep going, whatever it takes. You will keep going until you find that success. And then when you find it, you'll keep going. You know what I'm saying? You're not someone who goes. Some of my friends go, I can't wait to win the Academy Award. I'm like, well then you're done. Forget it, because then you're gonna win that Academy Award and you realize how empty it is, because there's nothing there. It's not about the Academy Award. It's about doing what you love doing, about being proud of what you do, doing work that you can stand behind. Like for me, it was a big deal to go, hey, I don't want to do any more terrorist parts, because that stuff made me feel bad. And having made that decision, it feels so good to have my agents and managers once in a while get in touch and go, hey man, there's this movie. It's with, Ben Affleck and this guy and that guy, produced by these guys, and the part is this guy who's a terrorist. I'm like, thank you, but no thank you. I don't care who it is. And it feels good. You feel empowered, So it's about pride, and that I think leads to all that other stuff falling into place.
You're a beautiful fucking man. Where you going to be at in the next couple of weeks?
My touring starts again. If you guys do Twitter, so at Maz Jobrani, people can find me there, or MazJobrani.com. But I'll be in Portland, I'll be in Houston, San Diego, San Francisco, DC. The touring begins, baby.
You're a bad motherfucker. Maz, from the bottom of my heart, I'm happy that we're still friends, that you invited me.
I love you, man. Joey D, I got to tell you, Joey D, and you know this, he's one of the nicest guys, one of the most sincere guys, and what I love about him is every once in a while you'll be in, whatever, Egypt or it doesn't matter where you are. It could be in West Hall, whatever. You're going to get a call from Joey D, everyone just checking in, everyone. And literally sometimes just, hey, cocksucker, just checking in. How you doing? Great. All right, we'll talk later. That's it.
Yeah, no, he definitely is awesome that way.
And it feels, it warms you up,
Makes
right?
you feel like, oh, wow, someone hasn't, like when we were first hanging out, he's like, let's do a podcast, let's go riding. And he would call me up like 2 times a week. And it'd be like, no one does that. No one does that anymore. Where you're just like, for an immediate response, you just hang out.
I love my friends, man. And you've always been very good to me. So that's why you're here today, cocksucker.
We love you, baby.
Felicia,
Yes.
I love you with all my heart, but
Yeah.
this is too hot today.
It's fucking hot in here. You're a good sport.
My fucking titties are dry.
I think we should take a picture of how soaked all of us
No
are.
more pictures.
Oh, really? Because I put them on my Instagram. I'm an Instagram whore now. It's just really fucking frightening. It's totally frightening.
Yeah.
Hey, Instagram whore, where you at the next few weeks? You dirty bitch?
I'm going to be at the Ice House on Sunday.
You look beautiful today.
Thank
you
you.
really do. You really
Thank
do.
you very
I looked at
much.
you a couple times. I'm like, God damn.
And it's all natural.
Yeah, it's all natural. There's no fake
You got
titties, no
good
fake
genes.
pussy.
Wow.
This bitch is beautiful. Look
You
at those
guys are
legs.
so
Look at her
sweet.
toes.
Yeah.
You
Did
know
my
what I'm saying?
toes for you,
I
Joey.
seen her with jeans the other day. Me and my wife came over. She had a pair of jeans on. Your ass is
It's the
getting nice and
sweetest
fucking
thing
thick.
ever.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Like, what else are we gonna,
What else we going to talk about?
Yeah.
Listen, for all the tour dates and everything, go to joeycocodiaz.net. For t-shirts, go to joeycocodiaz.net. For fucking Beauty and the Beast t-shirts, make sure you support the podcast. Also, go to Amazon and all that fucking
Yeah,
fun
go to Amazon. If you click on our little banner, it'll take you right to what you need to buy, and then we get like a half a penny. Do that for us. And by the way, this podcast is brought to you by GameFly. Do you ever try GameFly?
What's Gamefly?
You don't know what GameFly is?
No, I don't know.
It's a service where instead of buying games, you just rent them and they send them to you, and then when you're done, you send them back.
Great.
You're going to be
Yeah.
knowing about Gamefly in a couple fucking
Yeah,
years. You got
yeah.
a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
I love
yeah.
you, Maz.
Love you too,
Felicia.
Joey.
Thank you very, very much.
Bye, beautiful.
Okay, bye.
Oh, my God.
Science.